Keep it.
Scared of it.
Yeah, just.
Yeah. Let it rip.
We're at Mister Jiu's and we're making Peking-style duck. Oh my gosh. Do you know how long I've been waiting to try your duck, chef? So what is this machine?
This is an air compressor.
Air compressor?
Yeah.
And where do we place the air compressor?
We put it underneath the skin inside the cavity here, and I'm holding the neck just so the air wants to go out that way.
Wow.
In the very beginning, we used a bike pump.
Oh my gosh.
That ended pretty quickly when we started doing a lot. We get these ducks head on, feet on, everything is like completely whole, and that allows us to use the air compressor to separate the skin from the meat.
I feel like I should do the whole thing. Come on, little ducky. All right, chef.
Yeah, just right under there.
Okay.
Exactly.
Got it good. There you go. And you see how the back, you can tell it's getting all the way down. And when we carve it too, we want all the skin. So now I flip it over.
I've eaten a lot of Peking duck, but I actually haven't made it. And so to see the process break down, I think that you really have to approach this with intention because every duck is different. Like some of it has more connective tissue and some don't, so really feeling around. I keep thinking about like a balloon, like just like giving someone a duck balloon for their birthday. So morbid.
After the air compression happened, we'll take off the feet and we'll take off the wings. One of the differences of the result that we're like looking for, we're trying to get this duck to be medium. The meat should also be enjoyed as much as the skin, but the meat sometimes came at a sacrifice of the skin. If you get the breast to be medium, then the thighs, if they have the bone in it still, it doesn't cook all the way. So now we're gonna take out the thigh bone.
Okay.
Like the leg will be fully cooked and the breast will be medium.
Wow.
So we're going inside the cavity and just popping this thigh bone out. So when we blanch it, we don't want the inside to get blanched.
Okay.
If any water gets inside of the cavity, you've just expanded the skin away from the meat.
Yes.
So you want the skin to stay crispy and dry out. I skewer one side through so it creates tension in the gap. Fold it over, go one, back through, go over, and then in. So you can tell that it's a full cinch because you'll see air as it's bubbled up, you know, like it'll pocket a little bit.
I'm gonna cinch out of this duck actually.
Now that they're gotten to this point, we're gonna blanch them.
Yes.
The water is a mixture of vinegar, salt, licorice, and black cardamom, star anise. It's just like one more layer of like getting a little bit more seasoning in it.
Absolutely.
And we don't really want the neck to get any of the water in it, or else the water will go into the actual meat itself.
Okay.
While it's in here, I'll kind of just baste
Wow,
this.
you can see it sort of tighten up already.
Yeah, it's kind of like almost like going to the spa. When you go to the spa, you're like opening up all your pores, and so when your skin kind of retracts again, it has all that stuff inside of it. It feels all good and tight and like, right? Like even this restaurant for me is the nostalgia that I knew my grandparents and parents had for certain dishes. What I've learned from being here too about this neighborhood has been like super inspiring for me. And there's been just a ton of perseverance in this community to keep this identity. All these little pores have come up. The next kind of work we need to do is actually pluck all of these excess hairs out of it. But yeah, essentially we're just kind of going through and just kind of making sure all of these feathers are out.
Okay.
These are all the ducks that have been blanched. We do this process 2 times a week.
Wow, this entire process.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we're getting a range of around 30 to 40 ducks each day.
Chop some duck necks.
Yeah.
Some heads. Heads are gonna roll.
Chopping heads. But yeah, now you'll see like,
Still got all your fingers, right?
Yes.
that's the most important thing.
75 more ducks to go.
Yeah, you can see what Brian's doing next. We're tying the cavity so when it ages that it's not exposed to air. Now that all the pores are open,
Yes.
now we're gonna introduce all the things that are gonna be inside the skin that we want to stay.
Lovely.
Traditionally, it's maltose.
Okay. What is maltose?
Maltose is basically unsweet sugar. What you get from it is all the caramelization properties that you would get from sugar without it being sweet. We're adding dark soy, also another layer, what we call duck spice, which is that anise life, warm spice, which all that stuff.
So what we usually do is just a spoonful on top, and a spoonful on bottom. We want it thin enough to where we can get like an even spread on it.
Nyesha will help you too.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
let's go.
Got you.
So I'm just gonna go straight across like this, one spoonful like that. And again, if it sits too long, like it'll thicken up. So we kind of want to move quick.
This is like the facial portion where their pores are open.
Exactly. This is a massage portion.
Yeah. These ducks are getting pampered.
Serious. You just want to get that, nice even coat.
Lucky ducks.
Yeah, and a lot of times, like, they would have a big pot of the maltose, and they would, same thing, like, they would be doing this process still, but they would just be dunking pretty much the whole duck in it. When you have a production of that size, just doing that, it's like, it makes sense. You could have, like, that kind of
larger
pot
format.
that you just boop, boop, boop. This is how we kind of get the amount of seasoning we want on this way.
So after this process, aging.
Aging begins.
Okay.
All right, so now we're gonna take these upstairs.
Cool.
We have a walk-in upstairs where we're kind of in a rotation of ducks there.
Awesome. Field trip.
Yeah. Here's our little duck cart. Okay, so this is Zach. He is our duck rotation ager extraordinaire.
What a title.
I spend a couple hours a week just in the whirling cold wind, moving all the ducks, making sure they're dry, getting them ready for service. So we use chopsticks to spread their arms so that this dries fully and you don't get any mold.
That crispiness of skin on that back gets drier too. So all of this becomes like a nice like square piece of skin.
Yes.
And our last step is just driving these hangers through the skin around the neck bone. This is why we did all of that work to tighten up this cavity so it'll hang properly and dries better and is more crispy. These are the ducks at the end of the drying process. They've been in for 2 weeks. Their skin's nice and tight. The glaze is really stuck and now they're ready to be smoked up and cooked. So I'll keep bringing these down until we have enough for service today. With the empty space that we've made in the walk-in, we'll just keep repeating this process every 2 days so we always have a fresh supply of nicely aged ducks ready to go.
Okay, good night, little babies.
Good night.
Wow,
Okay.
what a journey we've just been on. Jeez.
Yeah.
So these are service ducks?
So these are service ducks.
Okay.
So today we are in preparation for the service.
Yes.
We're gonna get these into smoke.
So these wood chips are gonna kind of give it some smoky flavor.
We're not really looking to do a smoked duck. What we're looking to actually get is the skin to be really crispy and to be multi-layered and dimensional and in flavor, but having it be too smoky, I thought made it less like Peking duck. We just like close it all up and we just let these smoke for 30 minutes.
Okay.
So these are the pancakes. We kind of do them mostly traditional in the sense of they get stacked on top of each other and then cooked. And we used to do this by hand, and then I found this like amazing machine that like just does it for us. This is like one of the secrets.
So is this the final stage of cooking, or does it get?
This is what we do in the morning, and then when we get an order, we'll portion them and then steam them so they're hot, and then we send it to the table that way. It's a labor of love, like you'll see. It takes a lot of people to do this technique in this amount already.
Dough.
So these have been smoking for about 30 minutes now.
Okay.
Now we're basically ready to take them out. They've taken on some color. They've taken on basically like that other layer of flavor.
Yes.
And from this point on, this time of the day, we'll start to let them basically temper. these will be ready to roast when someone orders them. When the order comes in,
Yes.
we'll get this on a tray. It's gonna go through 2 cycles of heat. It's 17 minutes at 350 and 6 minutes at 450. So it kind of cooks almost for, you know, almost 30 minutes.
Okay.
And then we let it rest for 20 minutes, and then we're ready to carve.
Wow.
Yeah.
We have arrived. We have celebrated every single step of this duck's life. I mean, we've given it a bath, tons of flavor, layering. It's had 2 weeks to rest.
It's like a Kobe steak. Like it got,
100%.
you know, like it got massaged.
100%. I went to the spa.
Yeah.
Totally.
We'll get it to the table in an hour. When we're about to slice, we'll call to the rest of the kitchen. Yeah. Slicing duck.
Right.
Garde-manger will get all of the little garnishes together. Cilantro just picked, washed.
Cilantro.
A little bit of cucumbers, lightly dressed, just a little salt, a little bit of like rice vinegar.
So fresh.
The duck is rich, so like
Totally.
having some acidity there helps with the richness. And so this will come with the duck at the table, and this is everything you need to kind of set it up. Now that this is kind of resting, the work that we did to get this splayed out like this, and like the rubbing on this backside, like this is like the result is like you get this like shatter, right? At this point, we take this off and get this little puppy ready to slice. Usually I come across, well, you kind of like, we're shooting for like mediums to where like, you know, I think it's still pink all the way through. It's beautiful.
It's literally perfect. Like, I'm so freaking impressed. This technique is incredible. I prefer duck towards that temp. For me,
too.
You know, it's not as chewy almost.
Yeah.
So sort of finishing with a bit of Malden sea salt or
Yeah, because you know the inside has not gotten any seasoning right
Sure.
here. That's kind of where it needs the most like salt.
yes.
This piece I think is actually my favorite piece. It's something different than ours too, is that we kind of, when we're slicing this, we're keeping the skin and the meat kind of together. Traditional places would remove the skin
Yes.
underneath, you know, and present it all like that, which is like awesome way to do it too. So this is kind of usually how we present it, like the legs like this.
Okay.
We'll kind of put down
Tenderloin.
the little tenderloin.
Yeah. It's incredible. So excited. Thanks, chef. Moisture retention, beautiful rosé cooked through. Beautiful.
Give this guy another like layer of salt. These are the hearts and the gizzards. Just a little like chrysanthemum that we use.
Oh my gosh, I love chrysanthemum.
Yeah. All right, here it is.
Oh my
It's our
goodness.
whole duck.
Ah!
You know, when we bring it to the table, you would get your whole duck, your pancakes, your garnishes. It's all there.
Beautiful. This and a few of your closest friends. I mean, really, what more can you want? So incredible. Like, I have followed you on social media for so long, and it's an honor. Like, truly.
It's great to have you here.
Oh, it's incredible. Thank you.
Like, I think there's something about like just like coming to Chinatown, having roast duck, that I felt like that was part of some of the tradition that I wanted to continue here, is fulfilling that like combination.
Literally misty-eyed. It's just like,
Damn, you are.
I am, because it's like all of that love, the passion, the care that went into the entire process resonates. And I always say, like, food is such an energy transfer. So hearing your story, the energy in the kitchen, it's all just like hitting me, and it's just incredible.
Thanks.
Yeah.